Good day, Internet, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the New York Poets Cafe. I'm your host for the evening. My name is Advocate of Wordz. We have 25 people who signed up and they are on the guaranteed list. They have 4 minutes to share their poem or their poems, and then we're going to ask them to please share their social media so that everyone can follow each other and build with each other so you could rock out more than just on Mondays. Like I said, I am Advocate of Wordz. I am a teaching artist. I am a certified breeder of mythical creatures, and I'm an award-winning poet. Most importantly, I am a New Yorican poet. So, before we begin, do have to say a few thank yous. And that is, thank you to the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events. You too can support us with a tax-deductible donation at nuyorican.org/contribute or on Cash App to New Yorican Poets Cafe. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. You can look up New Yorican Poets Cafe. We're streaming live there. We're doing all of this on Zoom. So if you want to join us, the number's at the bottom. 279-995-364. Today is our 28th episode, and we have a very interesting theme for tonight: mortal enemy, inanimate objects. So I'm hoping to hear a lot of you wrote poems about what you hate the most, what inanimate object you hate the most, and why. If you're on Zoom and you signed up for the open mic, make sure that you open up the chat, because if you look inside the chat, I'm going to post it now. There we go, into the meeting. Into the chat, I posted who made the guaranteed list. Of course, we have 10 people on the waiting list. I like to get to the waiting list. I like to move things through quickly. So make sure that you perform just 4 minutes, because afterwards we want to know where we can find you and move on to the next poet. So with that being said, let's get to the poetry. And first, we are going to Wingman of the Year, because he's dressed so fly all the time. That is DG Clearing. You should be able to unmute yourself, brother. How are you this evening?
I am good, Advocate of Wordz. How are you tonight? Thank you so much for hosting Thursday. That was such a nice pleasure to have you there.
Oh, yes. Thursday nights, we also have an open mic. It's hosted by La Bruja. I have hosted it before, sometimes when she's unable to do so herself. So make sure, if after you have a good time tonight, you want to sign up for Thursday, make sure you go to nuyorican.org to sign up for Thursday night. Great. Thank you, DJ. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I have one poem for you tonight, okay? There is good and evil in the world. October 19th, 2020, COVID-19 has killed 220,338 in the USA, 1,128,116 worldwide known to date. For the first consecutive day, COVID-19 infections are over 50,000 per day in the US. In many states, polling places have been reduced and early voting has been made difficult. In Fulton County, Georgia, there were approximately 80% fewer precincts open for voting than last election. In Texas, early voting boxes, the only place to bring an early ballot in Texas, were reduced to 1 per county. Some people have to drive 1 hour or more to drop off early ballots. Many low-income and elderly will not be able to vote. This is your greed. Centuries have passed. The battles still go on. There was a victor to the war, but hatred is the loser's prize. Crosses should not be burning. White sheets must come down. Without fear, we should be able to worship. Lines still divide our nation, states, communities, and families. Your greed for power and control is my mortal enemy. Like the virus that spreads, you still enslave humans, break treaties, separate families, destroy places of worship, deny the vote to the masses, kill or imprison those who oppose you. You hung my grandfather for speaking out against your venom. His mother you raped and shot dead for harboring the innocent. Her father you flogged in a public square because he helped the Native Americans. Now comes a time when we must choose how to stop the contagion, the greed, the spread of the hatred, so we can rebuild our families, our communities, our states, our nation before it's too late. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for DG Clearing.
All right, man.
Strong
Yeah,
start.
thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks.
DG Clearing. After all of our performers rock out, we like to make sure we unmute people so we can give them some love. DG, where can we find you online?
You know, online, you can find me later. Now more than ever, please save your rights. Please, please, please go vote by mail or drop off in person. If someone needs help getting there or as a witness or to drop off a ballot, please be a good citizen and help them. Go vote. Vote, vote, vote. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I look forward to hearing and seeing everyone tonight. Go vote.
Thank you, DG Clearing. And I saw he got a new sign because he did that on Thursday. So he's not recycling the old signs, man. He's passionate about it. Make sure you go vote. Next, coming up, we are going to Central Massachusetts with Christina. Let me unmute her. There she is. How are you this evening, Christina?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Ready to share some of your work with us?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So it's not to theme, but it'll be fine. Okay. Wild child, wild flower, wild curls, curling iron, hairspray, thick, long braid. I learned to braid my hair from watching you, looking up your 5'0" frame towering over me while I sat on the floor in the bathroom. Bathtub, hot water bubble bath after playing all day in the snow, drinking cocoa, hoping not to get the bath water in my mug. Imagination, daydream, nightmare, starlight. Marlboro menthol lights, I can still smell them if I close my eyes, taste the ashtray sitting on the picnic table, on the counter, the coffee table, taste the breath of stale cigarettes and coffee made too light. Burned the cinnamon rolls on Christmas morning, peanut brittle made too hard, almost cracked our teeth, but the cake for my birthday was made just right. Dyed purple and rolled in coconut. But these blips don't negate that I learned to use the stove when I was 5, that pancakes have always been their own food group, that you were rarely there, mentally on another planet, and physically wrong place, right time. Sucker punches steal the air from your lungs, rob you of your voice, imprint scars on your heart, on your brain, as bruises never even surface the skin. Little girl frozen in time, frozen in place. I look just like you, a carbon copy. It makes me nauseous. I imagine this is exactly how it would feel if I was on a boat in the middle of an ocean, counting backwards, hoping for the waves to stop me moving. When I thought that you had taken less residency in my mind, I found you in the mirror, smiling back at me, naked face, painted face, two-faced, sleepy eyes, thinking that I should just crawl right back in bed. Do you know what it's like to try to outrun yourself so that your soul can leap from your body, that there's nowhere to hide, no way to dilute the concentration of anger and fear that is inside?
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Christina.
Hello.
And mute everyone and unmute Christina one time so we can find out where she is online. There we go. Christina, please let the people know where they can find you online.
Sure. So my website and my Instagram are Run, Sweat, Eat, Repeat. So it's runsweateatrepeat.com. And then on Instagram, it's Run, Sweat, Eat, Repeat.
Thank you, Christina. I appreciate you always. Always giving so much of yourself when you share your poetry. I appreciate it. And go follow Christina online. I saw the bench pressing, man. It made me be like, I got to go home and do some push-ups. So make sure that you follow Christina at runsweatrepeat.com and Run Sweat Repeat on Instagram. Next up, we have Kai Brackens. I saw Kai, but here he goes. Let me unmute Kai.
Yo, yo.
Hey, how are you this evening?
Well, I'm here. I made it.
All right, you're here. Are you on theme or are you off theme?
I am on theme and I got some new shit.
New shit? All right. Let me mute myself. I'm ready to hear it. Go ahead.
Alrighty. So this is called A Letter to My IKEA Desk. To my dearest, detestable growth living in the corner of my room, also known as the desk I purchased from IKEA. I hope this letter finds you in poor health as you sit covered in various artifacts of my depression and self-destruction. And if you think this is about to be an apology, you are definitely wrong. How could I ever apologize when you still sit judging me for all the days I stay home trying to find the energy to just merely lift myself out of this bed? Or when you tell me my mental health is an excuse I've made one too many times. Even now, as I sit in the living room writing this to avoid your accusatory stares, I can feel you pulse with the lack of use. How we both know I'm lying when I say I'll start cleaning you off tomorrow. How I'll at least arrange the stuffed animals I have stored under you, clear a spot wide enough to place the laptop that holds every unfinished manuscript I promise to finish soon. They, like you, also know I'm lying. Don't feel special, though, for the amount of trash I pile upon you, or even for the level of disarray you maintain. Various areas of this house looks just like you. Places like the kitchen and dining room know the feeling of my neglect just as well. No, what makes you so undesirably vivid is the ghosts that sit in your chair, the phantoms that ignore the pile of clothing I have placed on the cushion of that seat to prevent these spooks from filling the space with their expectations and disappointment. As if I don't have enough growing inside me, this like some kind of fungus. Still, these haunts persist as they show me all the possibilities I let escape my minutes, hours, and days. The writer I could be if I placed the laptop on your surface and for a change wasn't afraid of the blankness of the page. The artist, student, or poet I could be if the vastness of you didn't send me reeling back, hiding in my bed sheets, praying that all these missed opportunities would just let me lay in this bed I've made in peace. You see, it's more than just your chair that I loathe, even more than the spirits of myself you play through time and time again. It's less about the spaces I've let you fester in and more about the ones you seep in without permission. Because these apparitions of the better Kylene you want me to be have begun to grow under my skin and bleed into my veins, have become to possess me so much that I can almost feel the hearts of hundreds of versions of myself that I refuse to commit to beating in my body like rhythmless drums. Feel their lungs shifting and half-heartedly expanding where no lungs should be, as they try to flesh out a vessel where they can all live, even despite my greatest protests. No, I'm sorry, this is not an apology. This is an eviction notice. You may remain the cancerous growth you are sitting in the corner of my room, whispering to me all the failures you can conjure from my past, present, and future. But tonight, with this sage and this salt, I'm smudging you and your ghouls from my body. You may terrorize this room, but you will not make a haunted house of my flesh. Sincerely, the witch of this home and the owner of the body. Me.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Kai.
Nice.
Very nice.
IKEA didn't stand a chance.
Love it.
Kai, wait there. I love it. Poetic license, man. That's what I know. All I got to do is give you guys a prompt. You're going to run with it. Kai, where can the people find you online?
So you can find me at Kylene2001 on IG, or also my poetry account, which I promise I'll start updating soon. As you can tell, COVID has just had another like kicking my ass moment. So it will be Kai_loud_fat_mixed_poet, also on IG, or if you do Facebook, Kylene Brackens. Catch me there.
Thank you, Kai, as always. Kai Brackens. Make sure, Kai, you put that info in the chat. Give Kai a follow. Kai is a mainstay here with our open mics. All right, next coming up is another mainstay, and that is Miro. Where is Miro? I thought, yeah, I see her. There she is. Let me unmute her so we can get to Miro. Hi, Miro. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. I'm good. Touch tired, but I'm good overall.
All right, are we on theme or you got something else for us?
We are on theme. I was not very creative and decided to write about my phone because I just love to hate that bitch. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. I think Advocate has muted himself, so I'm going to go for it.
Go ahead.
I didn't ask for this marvel in my pocket, for this quick bliss, for this transformation to addict, scanning the horizon for the nearest socket. Can't help it. You're the world, my sense of direction, my social connection, a bottomless pit of information, my step tracker, moneymaker, playing my favorites over and over. You're important, useful, necessary. Like Sandy, I'm hopelessly devoted to you, looking out for your safety, making sure you get enough to eat, plenty of rest, so you can keep performing at your best. Yes, I find this dependency disturbing. Your glow is intoxicating, infiltrating my human feelings with your technological miracles. Deep down, I resent you. Hate so much that I need you. Hate that I could never go back to before without you. Hate that you've basically become a part of my body. Fifth limb, crucial appendage. Hate you. Need you. You're a curse I can't do without. Man's twisted creation made to enslave. No choice but to embrace the damnation. Entranced by your radiance. In bed with the enemy. Scrolling my life away for all eternity. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Miro.
Oh,
Nice.
Relatable content.
Great poetry, but I
Nice.
love the blouse also.
Miro, the people love Miro. Hold on. Let me make sure that I mute everyone and unmute Miro so we can find out where we can find Miro. Miro, where can the people find you online?
Well, I'm on Instagram still, Miro Reads Books, all one word. And I gotta say, looks like there's a lot of sandwiches in the chat here tonight. Advocate, what's the deal with that? Who wants a sandwich? Woohoo! Let's make a sandwich. Oh my God.
I had to fix it, man. They're triggering our hungry audience. That's why I was a little slow on the unmute button because I had to get rid of them. Sorry about that. Miro, please make sure you put your information into the chat so that people can follow you.
I will do. Thanks, Advocate. Thanks, Neo. And thanks, everybody, for the love, as always.
That was Miro, another mainstay here. And make sure if you check in the chat, there'll be no more sandwiches. I took care of that. You will see that Miro's probably commenting on your poem because that's how she gets. So next coming up, we have someone whose name I don't recognize, Alan Gary. I don't believe Alan has been on the open mic. Let's unmute Alan. Alan, where are you located?
New York, heart of the world here.
There we go. There we go. So I'm right. This is your first time with us, correct?
That's right.
Awesome, awesome. So go ahead, get into it, Alan. Welcome to the
Okay.
open mic.
3 short pieces. This is what my heart is feeling. What is family? If my progenitors hate and they look like me, are they my family? If I loved someone, even though they are ebony or crimson or golden skinned, and they reflected my heart, would I have to question my validity like some Rene Descartes? If I am born from you and yours, and you belittle me, and I fail to earn acquittal, you see, am I guilty of being your family? If I need to achieve the love I deserve to receive that should be from your genes, do you have the means, or do you indoctrinate me like some poison from a tainted vaccine? Broken mirror, bad luck, sweep it away, look straight ahead, choose where you want to live instead. This is, do we deserve? Pedophile priests pillage kids' souls. Master and slave, times have not changed. Teachers teach rote, unending 1 and 1 and 1. If zombies could think, they'd have the same fun. Soldiers soldier on, fighting and dying, all in the cause of jingo. Purple-haired ladies huddled back home, hoping their numbers make bingo. Amazon's amazing. If Bezos could pay less, it wouldn't faze him. If it bleeds, it leads, and the news says it's so. Women are leaders, but still treated like hoes. Animals burn, the rich still have furs. Trump's tower looms large. Fuck the scorched earth. Each generation hates, kills, and usurps. Without fail, the Christ child is nestled in its hearth. What lessons have we learned to prove we righteously deserve the inheritance we received when given life on this earth? Perhaps we have not spent the gift oh so wisely. Time to fess up, we are guilty precisely. And this one is Let It See. Close your eyes and open your heart. There's so much to see. Look at the world from where you feel. Throw off blinders, negativity serving as reminders of all which blocks your view. If what you do comes from the goodness in you, instead of beliefs which are skewed, then what you have is beautiful, a place called love inside your core, where goodness is imbued, is where it starts. But it need not end there. This is my truth. Thanks and love.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Alan.
Alan.
Good, Alan.
Good job.
And I'd love it if folks.
Alan, Gary, hold on, Alan. I had to mute everyone so we could hear you. You should be able to unmute yourself and let us know where we can find you online, Alan.
I would love if anybody likes to connect. You can follow me on Facebook, my friend page, Alan Gary, ALANGARY, or if you'd like to like my Alan Gary official fan page, that's cool. But most importantly, what I'd like, I don't need money or tips, is also to vote. I think we should do that. Let's get 100%. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Make sure you put that information in the chat. And Alan, we have a tradition here. Wait. You got to unmute yourself. We have a tradition here. I got to ask you, Alan, since you live in New York City, have you ever been to the physical Nuyorican Poets Cafe?
You know what? It's been on my bucket list, and I've always wanted to perform there. I am so grateful for this opportunity.
I gotta mute you, Alan. I had to mute you. That's the tradition here. If you live in New York City and you haven't been to the cafe, we gotta mute you. Don't worry, next time you come on, you're not gonna get muted, but you got to do your poem. You got to share where you are on social media. But Alan, how are you in New York City? You haven't been to the cafe. Welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic. I'm glad you're here. Please come back next week. But when the cafe opens, you need to go. And don't forget, Alan, get into the chat and put your information so people can follow it. That is a tradition here. I think Alan's like number 14, the 14th person to get muted, but we let him do his poem. We let him tell you where you can find him. Guys, gotta be at the cafe, man. And anyone who comes after Alan, don't lie. Don't lie now that you know what's gonna happen. All right, moving forward. Next coming up on the open mic is the GOAT, and that is Alexander Goldberg. Let me unmute our brother. Alexander, how are you today?
I am good. Another beautiful evening of poetry, and I'm so happy and blessed to be part of it.
And we're happy and blessed to have you part of it. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much. I wanted to ask you a question, quick question. What were your impressions on MLB postseason, and who do you think will win the World Series?
Oh, I think the Dodgers are going to win. I'm sad that my Yankees lost, but I'm so happy that the cheating Houston Astros lost. Oh, I'm so happy they lost. I don't like cheaters. But yeah, I think it's going to be the Dodgers in 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, my friend who lives in New Jersey, his name is Michael Gilgur. He is also my best enemy. he's a Astros fan.
Oh, okay. Only you would have a best enemy, Alexander. Only you. I love it. All right.
That's just me. And the reason I ask you this question is because I know that you're a Yankee fan, baseball fan. I know about the outstanding achievements of your son in baseball. And tonight's team mortal enemy, inanimate object. So I decided to write about a baseball glove as
There
my
we go.
mortal enemy. Yes. Okay. So my glove is my enemy. Please don't remind me. Try catching the ball, but it always flies by me. I almost gave up when you saw me in action, but what kept me going is full dedication. We played against Astros, and George Springer hit it, and everyone thought it's a home run. He did it. But I tried to catch the ball right in that second. I caught it. Fans called it the save of the decade. I risked getting injured, felt pain as I rolled. Incredible fall, but I still caught the ball. So we won the game, and our lead was 1-0. We were at the World Series 12 years ago. We got there again, and I'll help my team win. There's confidence that I am feeling within. We won the game 7. The score was 4-2. We lost our 2 previous games, but I knew the risk that I took, it just wasn't in vain. To win the World Series, I'll do it again. I am looking back from the place where we stand. This glove was my enemy, now my best friend. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for the GOAT.
There you go. That was good.
Iambic pentameter.
Alexander Goldberg, the GOAT. Oh, wait, I lost Alexander, so I couldn't unmute him. Wait, oh, okay, I got him now. It's funny, when I started playing baseball, man, I was so afraid of the ball. And every time I grabbed the glove, I felt scared, and it was my enemy. But then it became my best friend. So I started playing middle infield. I love playing baseball. Alexander, thank you for the poem. Where can the people find you online?
Find me online, Alexander Goldberg 35 on Facebook, Go15 on Twitter, and Gorbensky on Instagram. I'm glad you like the poem. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Alexander Goldberg. Make sure you put that information into the chat as well so that people can follow you. For those of you who came late, this is the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. This is number 28. Today's theme is Mortal Enemy, Inanimate Object. We are streaming live on the Nuyorican Poets Cafe's page on Facebook and on YouTube. We're doing this through Zoom. If you want to join us, the number's at the bottom, 279-995-364. We'd like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events. You too can support us with a tax-deductible donation at nuyorican.org/contribute or on Cash App to Nuyorican Poets Cafe. And of course, I am your host, Advocate of Wordz. You can find me on all platforms at Advocate of Wordz, and when you spell words, that's with a Z at the end because of poetic license. As I said, today is the 19th. Mortal Enemy, Inanimate Object is our theme tonight. Next Monday is our theme for Spooky, our Halloween special. After that, the following week is Well of Positivity, the night before the election vote, the general election. And then the week after that, our theme is going to be, It's Going to Be Okay. I have a feeling that people are going to need to hear that. It's going to be okay. Also, the week after that, my Shid, who I haven't heard from, but my Shid always comes in, listens to everyone, gives great feedback. My Shid is going to tell me what the theme is for November 16th. We decided that on Thursday night, waiting to hear from my Shid, and we will make that happen. With that being said, let's keep going on, and we're going to Dane Ince. Where is, there he is. Let me unmute Dane. Look at us, Dane. The computer's asking you to unmute yourself. There we go.
In the just the right sequence, or it's not happy. I can't see what I'm gonna read.
Oh, okay. Well, did you find it?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. No, I just mean I have to do the sequence right. If I bring up what I'm gonna read and then I unmute, the one I brought up to read disappears, then I got to go back and find it. So I got to do a sequence. That's just my life in hell.
You're tormented, I'm telling you, Dane. Go ahead.
I am. Yeah, and the inanimate object that I don't like is ash. And you might see why in a minute. Ash. Supernova, fucking hot, goddamn hot tsunami, earthquake in the garden, rolling over spent okra bushes, stinging nettles, aching for the itching, more, begging for more. It's so bad we have to scream, God, oh God. Like we hate the agony we love. We cannot help ourselves ending in oceans, in heaps, beasts, silent for a moment, dreaming. That might be you. That might be me sitting in the corner, reverting to the safety of the smallness beaten into me. That could be me with the dimming of the lights. No need to worry. This was fucked up long before the curtain went up. No need for guilt. No need for pity. It's just me, hobbling off on what is left of stumps, leaving a bloody trail of pus. I'm drawing a blank on the ending. That's a convenient lie. Recent history and experience say, tragically. How about making peace with that? Losing proposition so hard to take. Let's just do anything. Let's just skate. Let's bury the sadness in endless song and dance to avoid what we know will be. The premonition straitjacket has all the 8-ball answers, verifiable by planchette. Sigh, oh endless sigh, I will right this ship if all that remains from the crashing on rocks in the fog is nothing but a mere bundle of sticks. I love you, as I must have always loved you. I read the history and it is the same every time. Fatal, tragic, bleeding for the chance of a moment of bliss, transient. In ancient rhyme lore, I think all kinds of things, barricades to not allow for feeling. Bending, stretching, no dreaming, my dead body snores. Were these the trifles of gods and goddesses? Do you have any idea of the crushing, the dead weight of you on my body, of my wiping your ass, my lover's ass, cleaning up your piss, doctoring your diaper rash, and seeing the beautiful curl in your pubic hair, knowing I will never come inside you again. You sleep in a box, your body, ash. I stroke your thighs, play with your nipples and breast. So much beach sand now running through fingertips. I lick a finger, pick up some of your beautiful ash body. I suck you off my finger and swallow your body inside my body, finally, as close as we will ever be again, for as long as we spin around the sun. Thank you.
Unmute yourself. Give him some energy.
Wow.
He does it again.
Gorgeous, man.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Amazing.
That was gorgeous.
Dane Inks going in, man. Going in. Dane, please unmute yourself. Let us know where we can find you online.
At 2019 DMI on Insta. Thank you guys very much.
And Dane Inks on Facebook, correct?
Yes,
All right, cool. Make sure they put it into the chat, Dane, please. Thank you.
I will.
Dane Inks, I like to talk about how he's like a tormented artist, and I feel he can feel it in his writing. So much passion. I love it. It's intense, intensity. All right, next coming up, we've got Andy Markert, and I found him right away. Usually I have a hard time finding him, but I found him right away. Andy, how are you this evening?
All right, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. Did you keep on theme today?
Oh, no, not at all.
No? Okay. All right.
At all. Yeah, I drove right off the theme.
All right, good. Let's hear it, brother.
All right, here we go. Which one are we gonna do? This one looks good. All right, yeah. This one's called Why I Don't Got No Tattoos. Have you ever, y'all, known there was something out there you know in your heart you love so much it drive you to extinction? Known there was something out there that could change you, mend you, transform you, but take that step and who knows what you would become. Known that out there is that thing that might baptize you in color and fire and art. Friend, at your core, haven't you always felt more like canvas than person? Breathe deep. Let go. Stay with me. It's not every day we face something together in a space like this one, where we ask each other big questions, scary questions, questions that should never get asked, like why? Why pain and pleasure share a fucking property line? Why laughter and tears are kissing cousins, and why I want nothing more than to feel a needle tear across the canvas of my flesh until my body tells a story of heartache, of longing, of desire, of joy. It wouldn't take a day to cover this body in a treasure map, each design feeding into the narrative of me, where X marks the spot on my heart, hidden in a chest with a broken lock, where all you have to do is give it a little jiggle of affection before it lets you right in. It might be battered from a journey, but I promise y'all it'll hold you just fine. When people ask why I didn't have any tattoos for someone who loves them so much, it's because simply I can't afford it. I can't afford to let you in that deep, to wear my desire in the color on my skin when I'm still learning to sit in the blankness of my own.
Unmute yourself.
Damn.
Give it up for
Oh my God,
Andy.
Andy.
Line, man.
What's up?
Damn.
Recent fire tap.
Damn.
Bro.
Damn, man.
Wonderful.
The people love it. The people love it. They're going crazy. Let's quickly unmask and unmute Andy before people get crazy. They want to see his face again. They want to hear him. Andy, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Andy Meerkat with 2 T's on Instagram. I'll throw that in the chat like I always do.
Thank you, Andy. Appreciate that. Andy, Mark Kurt, a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic, always bringing that fire. I'm still a little upset that he didn't stay on theme, but it's awesome. He's awesome, man. I love it. I love it. All right, next we're going to a man who should be in a good mood because his New York Giants won, and that is Nick Paleologos. Nick, how are you this evening?
Well, I am doing amazing, and not only because the Giants won, because I also bet on your Bears, and they also gave me some money. So you know,
bear down, baby.
Down. Hell yeah, hell yeah. I'm on theme, by the way. It is new shit too, by the way. It's only one though. It's only one. So I'll get right on into it because I want to get to these other poets too. This one's called "Becoming the Bottle." The tequila, the whiskey, the rye, the bourbon, the vodka, now watch my body die. After a while, the alcohol starts glowing, starts to speak to me, and the more I drink, the more it wants to envelop into me. The more I consume, the more aura it warms, at least on the surface. More salt and lime to drown the burns as my mind takes turns with which one I am each day. Wake up after a long night and release it from my gut, and realize what I have become. Again, the poison that plagues me, yet I'm wishing for more to appease me. I really hate alcohol, yet I cannot connect the dots to the data that's supposed to make me stop. I'm programmed to consume more. One more shot, one more drink, and release it again. Too bad that I lose memory most times, otherwise I would have stopped a long time ago. The hangover leads to more, and the chaos consumes me, and slowly I devolve from the person you see to something else. At least now that the binge is over, I put a limit on it and simmer the relationship. It's more love-hate now. I love to release the barrier and hate putting it back up. Even though it seems like a lifetime membership, I'm ready to quit because my body is corrupted. My liver is sick of filtering, my stomach sick of the churning, my brain from taking blows and dumbing, my heart from breaking, my lungs from gasping, and ultimately, my body from corroding. I have no one to blame but myself, I'll admit. And to you, alcohol, I loved you, and now loathe you, and all of your bullshit. I've become the bottle encasing it all inside. The bottle has broken, and I emerge with shards sharpened in my skin. Thank you, alcohol, for all the damage you've caused. You're a piece of garbage.
Ooh, unmute yourself. Give him some energy, y'all.
Wow.
Nice, Nick.
Thank you.
Bring it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
That is poetic license for you, man. I give you a silly, weird topic like, your mortal enemy is an inanimate object, and our poets go deep with it. I love it. I love it. Nick, where can the people find you online, sir?
You can find me on Instagram at The Real Nick P. You can find me also on Meraki at The Real Nick P. I also have a Cash App, $ logos that I will throw into the chat. Thank you so much, Advocate. Thank you so much, everyone. Everyone's been great so far. Let's keep it rolling, Let's keep it rolling. The positive vibes going. And I'm out.
Thank you, Nick Paleologos. I mean, he's in a really good mood because the Giants won, man. They got their first win of the season. All right, let's move on to a winner, and that is Sam Park, our resident Spotify DJ. Sam, how are you this evening?
I'm so good. I can't believe you just called me a winner. That's wild.
Winner, man, you've been knocking it out the park these last several weeks with your poetry. So, now the bar has been raised.
Well, see, there you go.
Did you keep it on theme this week?
Yes, in a way.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it. Go ahead.
So I have two things for y'all. The first one is a brief haiku called Racism versus COVID. I wear a mask to protect from a virus, but not from their hatred. And then the second poem is The Opponent of a Poet. I express myself voluntarily. I note that others don't work as similarly, but I obligate myself to complete transparency. I was born with raw temerity, scarred over my most delicate verities for the purpose of exposing my deepest cuts, baptized in the healing water of sincerity. I find triumph in silence. I was not raised to be violent. Upon instinct, my tongue subsides and judgment settles into retirement, while my mind wages war with the defiant doubts that threaten my perception until they become compliant. For the purpose of my art on this, however, I am reliant. I draw intricate thoughts onto the blank pages of my notebook, stealing the dreams from my sleep like the common crook, posing the prose of my mind into that of a poet's outlook, translating notes on experience that my soul took, but at times these notions are strong enough to leave my heart shook. That's when I encounter a block. I start sketching outlines like a body on the sidewalk, tracing my steps back to key memories that are still locked. But fool's gold steals away into the desperate heat of shell shock as my intent pleads with muted trauma that no longer wants to talk. So I sit there abandoned while the ghost of an idea still resides, stealing the intention from laid words along in its stride as my conscious mind longs to run and hide like the heartbroken potential of a running bride no longer wishing to groom its shadow side. What's left is a dusting of spare words on the window to my soul, guarding the entrance to my creative black hole. Ideas are reduced to ash, once glowing coals, and simmer into lukewarm thoughts that disappear no matter how I cajole. And just like that, capping my mightiest sword, I've surrendered my control. Even with this loss, I am aware that this is not a duel to the death, so I retreat to reality to catch a reviving breath. To fight an opponent as worthy as loss and regret and treat it as a friend rather than a threat is simply taxing when your heart is still paying the debt. And so I write letters to myself that tenderize raw pain and simple love songs that unite to a resolution in the refrain, hooking my brain safely within its fragile membrane to hold close the ideas that stubbornly remain, because eventually they'll order themselves into a purpose I can retain. In time, it will reappear as a fair-weathered friend as I temper my expectations to a gentle end. With every request to the universe that I send, I can only hope my spirit guides will do the same and extend grace to my convictions and allow me to transcend. Spontaneously soon, a favor of impulse will jolt me alive, awakening my now well-rested third eye. My imagination has burst through cobwebs and has miraculously survived from the war against writer's block. Fresh and revived, all to call out a common enemy in this prompted poem I've contrived.
Unmute yourself and give Sam some love.
Nice job.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yes, Sam.
So good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
The quotable Sam, where can the people find you online?
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Zaddy_beats and Spotify. I actually just posted a 2-part playlist for my writers, my creatives, my poet friends. It's called Beatniks. I feel like you guys would enjoy that pun. But it's just 2 different playlists, 20 tracks each. One is instrumental, no lyrics, and the other is all singing and rapping and preaching and everything. I hope you enjoy it and work to it. Let me know what you think.
Thank you, Sam. That is Sam Park. Sam, make sure you put that information in the chat so that the people can get to it. All right, moving along, we are going to Mr. Tesosomok. Oh, he's got a new background. I love it. I love when people have those drawings and those details. Sir, how are you this evening?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yep. Oh, I hear you perfectly. Do we got a new mic?
No, I just probably did my job and fixed it.
Okay, awesome.
The artwork behind me is actually a piece of work done by my niece. She's a really awesome artist.
Yeah, because that's awesome. You let her know I told her that I thought that's awesome. All right, sir, go ahead. Let's get into it.
All right, let's rock and roll. Ghost ships. We find ourselves in the ghostly ships of the past, derelict, adrift, and dead like the crew of the Mary Celeste. The ghostly vessels of our bodies are strewn adrift and deserted, empty hulls of meaning and signification. The derelicts found adrift in our historical materiality, careening in our subconscious, decommissioned, scrapped, breaking loose of their ropes and carried away by the manifest winds and social waves. The fire ship of Bay de Charlet lingers like a visual floater that can't be shook, the flaming 3-mast galley that arcs across the horizon before the coming storm. You see, these ghostly ships seem to constantly reappear at some interval, like Lady Loving-Von as a reminder of our failures. On August 4th, 2020, the Forgotten pulled out cargo, the MV Rosu blew up half Beirut. Few of the people had any notion of the 2,750 tons of ANH4NO3, also known as ammonium nitrate, that had been sitting in a port warehouse for 7 years. These vessels, like the ships of the past, have served their many uses to plunder caravans of the oceans, the cancerous caravels delivering their contagion payloads on unsuspecting lands and ripping the surface content stereoscopically, extracting the geoflesh from these new lands, loading them on the greedy galleons of Europe. Al-Kabula, the original name for what is now called Africa, in its ancient times meant mother of mankind or garden of Eden, but today it remains the plunder playgrounds for the best that Europe could send, and some, I assume, are good people. You see, an undisclosed buyer paid the rough and tumble Russian Igor Grushinsky $1 million to ship 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate from Georgia to Mozambique. Grushinsky used the windfall to purchase the Rosus, a 27-year-old cargo ship from Cyprus-based company, employed Russian Boris Prokofiev to helm the ship and cargo across the Black Sea, stopping in Istanbul, Turkey, Piraeus, Greece, and Beirut. Running short on cash, Prokofiev was sent to Beirut to take more cargo. Prokofiev found himself in a deadly ship as the hatch covers sagged under the weight of the machinery, but Grushinsky saved Prokofiev from abandoning ship by failing to pay the port fee. Such was the dooming of the Rosas, abandoned by its owner. As the ship was pirated by the port, the Rosas captain, chief engineer, and third engineer in the boatswain couldn't disembark. These 21st century capitalists were pawns in a woefully low stakes game where Grushinskin refused to pay for his skeleton's crew's food while the vessel sat in port. They survived through the kindness of local workers who refused to pay the Beirut port fees, he refused to transfer the cargo. In a word, he abandoned the whole mess and fled to Cyprus with 1 million in his pocket. 4 men trapped on the Rosus while she was anchored in Beirut. Eventually peddled the ship's fuel to pay for a lawsuit against the Lebanese government. After 11 months, they were released from their floating prison. The cargo's original owner that had paid Grushinskin 1 million for the ammonium nitrate never claimed it. But rarely are grifter ships like the galleon of Chapel Cove, where buried riches needed to be defended. Instead, only banal bureaucracies. Prokofiev theorized the Lebanese didn't sell their bounty because the officials were so corrupt and incompetent that they couldn't agree on how to divvy up the profits. Several port officials were warned higher ups, including the prime minister, about the danger of leaving the ammonium nitrate there, and such a sighting was roundly ignored. As the ammonium nitrate exploded, a tremendous shockwave through the city destroyed half the city. The Rosas, meanwhile, had rotted at the Beirut dock until someone had cut her loose. She drifted north of the port and finally sank parallel to the breakwater opposite to the explosion site. It is still there till its future ghostly reappearance. And finally, as a shockwave traveled, you could cite the reappearance of the cancerous caravels and the greedy galleons of history. 4 times 50 living man, and I heard nor sighed nor groan. With a heavy thump and a lifeless thump, they drop one by one. The souls did from their bodies fly. They fled to bliss or woe. Samuel Taylor Coleridge.
Love it.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Mr. Test.
It's almost
Yeah.
amazing.
Professor does
Nice
it again.
job.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Very nice.
Great job.
That's powerful.
One of the better storytellers here. Let me unmute Mr. Tessosomo. Sir, where can the people find you online?
All right, that was a mouthful. They can find me at Gashes 2019. I'll drop it on the chat. And thank you all for enduring that ghostly reappearance of a ship.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Tessosomo, make sure that you give him a follow. Next up is Dylan. There is Dylan. And Dylan, wink, wink, has never been on an online open mic with the New Yo. All right. Bruja's not watching. You good, Dylan? Good to see you again, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Because this is my first Monday one. The new stuff that I wrote, it's not really to theme, but I guess it's kind of, I don't know. I'd say frustration with a rather just an abstract idea than just a specific object.
All right, let's get into it. Go ahead.
All right. And it's actually in a form that I usually hate, but this is called a queer sestina. When you hear Prince sing, "I'm not a woman, I'm not a man, I am something that you'll never understand," it makes your body feel less like a foreign object, like the forgotten photo booth film strips back when you hung around the wrong people, stuffed in your underwear drawer so nobody will look. Growing up in a small town accustoms you to that look. You know the one. You got to be kidding me, man. Quit acting like a bitch kind of stare. You see these people stare in high school classrooms, pizza joints, the library. You understand that you don't inherit what they think you're missing. You strip off your damp shirt, peeling it off your sticky back. The objective of this exercise is this. Compare your frame to the objectified images of men clad in Speedos that don't get funny looks at the community pool. When you reach back to his zipper and strip his flesh away until he's thumping organs, aren't you the same man? Study his heart. The patter is polyrhythm 3 to 4 against yours. Understand that he, even skinless, doesn't care about the opinions of other people. Queer is a word reclaimed and paraded by the same people that got their parietals parted open, prodding for peculiar objects or letting Pazuzu out. If you lived 50 years ago, you'd understand what your closet companions were so concerned about. Looking out of the crack of the door frame, seeing your father, the man that was supposed to protect you, thwacking the leather strip, the snake of his belt against his palm. a hand landing on the hair strip trailing below your waistband, how you imagine the touch of people you'd meet at a club or bar, what being wanted feels like, being the object, their obsession for the night and for the rest of their life, saying, man, if I could tango on the tiles and under the threads with him. They look away to play it cool with their collars and combat boots. You two stand under the sizzling street lights for the bus back to yours. They'd understand and roll with what turns you on, what to whisper in your ear, what tunes to strip to with your vintage speakers, cradling their golden head, telling them, look at me, while their eyes bob around you and glow. You wonder if these people exist somewhere in a rotten town unlike your own. Every man and woman in a 10-mile radius of your phone thinks you're doing it for attention. The objective, should you choose to accept it, is to define yourself what a man means. You should understand that nobody will discover your worth if you object to going out for drinks and finding fresh faces sometimes. Hey, it doesn't hurt to look.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Wow.
Right.
Man.
Amazing. That was
It
beautiful.
was absolutely
Very good,
fantastic.
Dylan. Very good.
Can you hear me all right? Something's up.
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think there was just a
All
bit of a technical flub.
All right, where can we find you online?
You can find me on DeForgery, like forgery, Dylan, on Instagram. I actually have a card page that links to my Insta and my Twitter and all that. Hang on, let me get a normal view. There it is. I'm posting in the chat.
Cool. Thank you, Dylan. Appreciate it. As Dylan DeForge, I actually met him on the Thursday night online open mic, but do not tell Bruja, because when she comes back, she's going to get to sing the Pop the Cherry song. Got to save that. So everyone's in on the secrets. All right. Next coming up is another one of my favorites, Trisha De Jesus. She's always bringing it. How are you today, Trisha?
Not super good, but I'm here. So yeah, just yeah.
All right.
I am not according to theme. At least I don't think I am. But I have a few teeny tiny little poems to share with you guys. New shoes. Our family, not your bargain, basement staple, but Mama watched the meager budget with careful, patient eyes. I would receive my sister's hand-me-downs with no questions or complaints. This was our norm, and 7-year-old girls had more adventurous pursuits than frills and sparkles. Still, I was pleased as can be, with my sturdy buckle, Buster Brown shoes. How short-lived that pleasure would be. My second grade seatmate, tan and durable, like my lovely squeaky shoes, cornered me at first recess and promised to be my best friend ever. What's a new girl to do? If I switched out shoes with her, my dainty or acorns for her war-torn gallompers. I nodded, the inception of years' worth of repeating a mute yes. And this next one is called Shakushu America. I am certain the belladonna is to die for, smirking, winking, but only if there's more where that came from. This is the part where the B movie, where he boldly slips, this is the part in the B movie where he boldly slides a single tentacle, a vacuum receptor kiss, a temporarily permitted appendage upon her outstretched swan song. One toggle to emit a pleasure response, one switch to pretend, a satiety nowhere present, a pedestal upon which they divest their skins, corporal lies best left at the threshold. And finally, something called It Must Be Nice. Wandering inside the skin on this yellow side of brown, which is darker, in some accounts and lighter in others, wondering about the word elite in the same sentence as freedom, about causes on your lapel and threats on my life, wondering how days feel, breathing easy, mustering consternation, yet still living the exact same life in the same exact world as the day last week. It really must be nice. That's all I have today.
Wow.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for Trisha.
Nice.
So hope you're feeling
Good
okay.
job.
Great
Great
job.
job.
Very nice.
My love.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, Trisha.
Very nice. Beautiful.
Trisha De Jesus. We have so many good writers out here, man. I love it. Like, I would love to be able to sit down and just watch Trisha map out her poem and put it together. Trisha, I'm trying to unmute you. Where can we find you online?
On Instagram at Finn_Bell, and on Twitter and Facebook, Finn Bell, capital P, capital B. And this Thursday, I actually have my own weekly open mic. The theme is about folklore from your culture. So if you guys can come, that would be great. It's 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and I'm going to post that in the chats. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Trisha. Trisha De Jesus. She knows her poetry, man. That's how I came to know her in the audience. I'll never forget. She said, hey, that's an anaphora. I was like, oh, she knows that word. She knows her poetry. I love it. All right. We about to get gangster. We going to the Bay Area. And once I said we about to get gangster, she knew that I was talking about her. And I'm talking about metronome. Let's see the foot game.
Yeah, my comfy Uggs that match my comfy ragamuffin.
I love it. All right, metronome. Are you on theme or no?
I missed Spoils of War and Mirage, so I'm gonna do those writing prompts from weeks ago.
All right, go ahead, get into it.
Thank you. Mirage. All my past relationships were just a mirage. They were what I thought they were. They were what I was made to believe, none which were based on reality, just a figment of my imagination. The persona that was presented, the sweet sheep's cozy clothing, all a lie. False fleece ignored the wolf underneath that I chose to believe, slamming my cognitive dissonance against the wall over and over again, tranced by my make-believe, my fantasies, always overtaken me, wanting desperately to believe that this time, this will be the one that sees me. I picked the incapable love, hoping that this one will finally love me, the mission impossible, fooling myself over and over again, a constant loop repeating an inevitable destiny of suffering. I needed to wake up from the dream, the illusion that overtook my brain, keeping me in a constant state of complacency. Please, Lord, lift up the hood and uncover the truth. Take off my veil, clear the smoke from the screen, extinguish the gaslight, snuff out the fuse, show me the light. Tell my unconscious and my soul that this is all a big waste of time. Release me from my default mode, slipping into the untruth that leads me to buy the fake news. Please help me and save me from my kryptonite. Take away all my weaknesses, triggers, and love handles that someone can get a hold of and hang on for dear life, taking me on a riot of detours and U-turns. Stop the car before I'm led astray too far. Please, God, help me and save me from my own self-made mirage. All right, now warfare that I missed a couple weeks ago. Devil, you came to cast war against my soul, but Jah himself sent me the perfect wolf in sheep's clothing to pose as my love, soulmate, if you will, to train me so I will always know my foe, to ultimately win the victory. The conquering lion of a tribe called Judah shook my house and warned me of the bloodshed outside my home, showed me that the alarm was set as the duppy was still upside in the attic. Defeat does not exist in this dojo. I will not be brought down by the ghost of my past. I will not allow you to crash my pad. No squatters allowed. You may not hunker down. No illegal dwelling. This is not a flop house. You will honor my temple and get the fuck out. I've been under intense spiritual training ordered by the lion conqueror to win the ultimate warfare. So when trigger happy Satan uncocks his gun, he will be shooting blanks in my bulletproof chest. There will be no handle to hold on to, no weak weaknesses embedded in my soul. So when I'm up against the ropes, there will be no skeletons in my closet for the heathen to reveal. You have nothing on me and you will never will. Finally standing firm in my truth. No monsters or villains can scare my spine. They no longer have power over my mind. I'm protected by the high spirit, powered by victory. I've gone road against the status quo. There will be no more bloodshed, no more crying, no more fussing and fighting, no grip on my skin, no more insecurities to get the upper hand on me. You have lost, Duppy, and you can test me every which way, but you will lose. My personality of positivity is my protection. You better duck when I whip my cloak of joy over my back, blocking the knives thrown at it. My gut of steel springs the bell to my brain. Let me know who to trust and who to stay clear of. My skin will literally crawl when I get too close to the beast, so his dirty claws will never get a hold of me. You will not feast on me. I'm not your prey, vampire. My blood is not your juice. You will not feed off me. Parasite, no more creep straining me. It's not my fault that you have no life force of your own, and I am not the one that will give you my vein. You walk amongst us posing like you're normal, but I see the ogre behind your smug eye and many identities. I know that broken soul. It doesn't matter what name you use to hide behind the banshee. Will always howl telling me who you be. Bald-headed narcissist fool, Mr. Chatterbox, hypocrite, dastard, beast, brute, imp, troll, rogue, scam, bumbleclot, flea, blood clot, goblin, gremlin, gold, poltergeist, shade, python, snake in the grass, serpent, phantom, shadow, Beelzebub, Lucifer, old Nick, boogeyman, bugbear, hobgoblin, demon, fiend, monstrosity, ghoulie. I knock you off my shoulder once and for all. I will never turn my head and listen to your saccharine lace talk again. I no longer play the bad card and sleep with the nightmare. No more enemies reside inside of me. Go on, I will not scuffle with the adversary. Natty dread shuffle.
Unmute yourself, give us some energy.
Yo, you should be a preacher. You should be a preacher.
That gangster energy, and I think Paul Skiff put it best. He says, nothing like seeing a poet be possessed by a poem. Metronome.
Wow, that's the best compliment. Thank you.
Right? That's a great compliment.
That's the best.
So are we online or are we still off the grid?
Only here. You can see me on Thursday and Monday night.
That's what's up. Thank you, Metronome.
Thank you.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we are here. Same Zoom channel, same Facebook channel, same YouTube channel. Okay, and you can find Metronome here with the shoe game. It's off the hook. All right, next up, we're going to a man with a very great deal of confidence and a great deal of power in his voice, and that is Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, how are you this evening, sir?
I am good. I am good. I am good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Love having you on. I'm getting spoiled by having you on. You have to come here every Monday now. I love it. I love it. All right, man. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I'm in all black for this poem. This is a positive spin on my mortal enemy. The upside to cancer. Death is coming for all of us, no matter how healthy you are or how much you work out. Death respects no one as you will leave this place, and baby, that's no doubt. My mother taught me to look for the silver lining, no matter how bad the storm or your level of sorrow. Just like the thief crucified with the Savior, any of us could be in heaven tomorrow. When death comes from cancer, it is generally bad news because it destroys so much. Cancer eats away at the physical, but the spirit, it cannot touch. I am not celebrating cancer. See, it's my nemesis. Do not take this the wrong way. Cancer destroys, kills, and sends loved ones to the early graves. There are many issues with cancer that we must deal with off the top. Alzheimer's takes your memory, while heart attacks cause your blood flow to stop. Any of us could die in over 1,000 different ways, or even while we sleep, not to mention. Here are some upsides to my mortal enemy, cancer, that I want to bring to your attention. Cancer gives you space. Cancer gives you grace. Cancer lets you know that you're going to leave this place. Cancer allows you time to get things in order. And it also gives you time to let your daughter know how much you actually love her. Cancer gives you the opportunity to say goodbye, to say, I'll miss you, and to say, I'm sorry if I was not polite. Cancer allows you the opportunity to say thank you, to write a will, or to seek forgiveness as you set things right. With Cancer, you have the chance to say things that you might not be able to say if they get hit by a bus. Cancer gives you the time to stop, set things right as you try to adjust. It allows you to be visited while you can still be heard. Cancer allows you to hear your son's final words. Cancer is an indiscriminate killer with no respect of who you are or how much money you have in your purse. Cancer can even give you time to meet a very nice hospice nurse. We are all going to leave this place no matter how wealthy we are or how kind or how sweet you may be. Take advantage of the space Cancer gives you, and heaven could be the next thing that you see. In peace.
Unmute yourself. Give this man some energy.
Very good, Mr.
Yes.
Very nice.
Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Mr.
Great
Speaker.
take. Great take.
Mr. Speaker, poetic license, taking it the other way, and that's hard to do with a topic like cancer. Sir, let the people know where they can find you online.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker Inc.com or James Mr. Speaker Sirs on Facebook. If you get a message from me on IG asking you to buy something, it is not me. I've been hacked. So,
Thank you for that wording, man, and thank you for the poem. I appreciate it. Right. Mr. Speaker, that is true. I lost my mother to cancer, but it wasn't like getting hit by a bus. We had some time. That's always tough, man. All right, so everyone strap in and let us leave the online open mic for a second because we're going into the Skiff verse. And let me unmute Mr. Paul Skiff. Paul, how are you this evening?
Yeah, I'm okay, I guess. I was just working so much, I didn't get to pay attention to anything else, but that's the virtue of work sometimes.
Indeed, indeed. Luckily for me, my job is to listen to you guys. So I'm ready to listen to you. You ready, sir?
Yeah, I get to follow Metronome and Mr. Speaker, so that's a privilege in itself. I didn't want to write this poem, but it just kept accumulating. So I'll do it. I'm just going to kind of plow through it and try to beat the time limit. It came to pass, the leader of the free world, cranky child, boogeyman by his own rejected humanity, up with business, down with human life, theme song, depravity, orders, ritual, sacrifice of 50 million American children. Remember this if you survive. Twilight's final gleam on claims to free and brave. Misgovernment of blood-sucking ghouls who, with a bank account where their humanity was, order the sacrifice of 50 million American children. Do you know what it even feels like to write that line? Who, with a bank account where their humanity was, order the sacrifice of 50 million American children so the stock market can ejaculate a digital dedillion dollars into a population swindled into being a political hostage pool to throw your vote at the putrid wisdom. You also must be a former human now battered on the inside by a heart as corrupted and morbid as luck in a 3-card Monte shuffled across public distraction while the slithery carnival barkers comb over flaps and foul breeze of his anal breaths as he pulls another 5-fingered discount on a vulva. If The criminal stupidity of this gang of kleptos imposturing government was a racist utopia. Would today's news be a display of Judas-like dishonesty and playground snottiness? Just asking. Which will kill more, the microbe or the American death cult and posturing government? What do you call a government that orders the sacrifice of 50 million children? Government by cockamamie. While in our streets, antique shame, a 400-year-old mistake provokes humanity to confront its ugly part with archaeology of self-respect it has been abandoned to by generations of spineless public servants who wear lethal status quotient like a limousine, the holy temple of the extrajudicial lynching in ordinary street corner beset by goon gangs with hand tools of political stupidity, pepper spray, steel baton, jumbo twist ties, flash bang, taped over badge. I don't need to know your name since you gave up your humanity for overtime pay. Brutalizing human beings for misspent tax dollars means you have no more soul than a dollar bill. No more soul than a dollar bill. You've got no more soul than a dollar bill. You can't rubber bullet or arrest our future by being employed with misspent tax dollars, but I'm glad my rebellion will help you pay your daughter's education, a box of masks for next month and a nasal swab. You know the tune. Oh, say can you recognize through the tear gas and flashbangs what so alarmingly we hailed as the door political stupidity slammed on its own democracy? Back in the microbe emptied streets, we reclaim ownership of this city ourselves and basic human capacity to know right from cruelty given from men who forgot they had a mother and pretend our humanity doesn't exist. Perverted laws that sneer antebellum values reduce polite society to threatening its own reflection. Somewhere between party loyalty and profit, humanity was grand juried to death. So, live, uninterrupted, brought to you by our sponsors, Widespread Mortality LLC and Depredation United Industries. It's the American swindleocracy. Which of the following is a vampire government feeding the blood of its own young? The United States of America, the United States of America, or the United States of America? That is right. This is not a fair test, but at least you do not have to guess that maybe it might be like the man who swallowed fishbowl cleaner because the president of the United States of America said it was a cure. Your pleasure is now a kind of sleep with one eye open. Today, over 200,000 ghosts, statistical vagrants wandered through media, separating us from reality, attending funerals, and our ability to react with self-respect that would force change. We view the statistics as waiting for a sympathy that would rescue us from presidency run merely as insincere brand management, not idolatry, where Marie Ivanka Et says, let them now eat from the church food bank, and the swindle spouse mutters expletives of contempt for public decorum, the work ethic, and holiday spirit all in one. As the presidential, as the pestilential, as the pesti-presidential, as the pestilential, as the pestilential family. Oh, you know the one I mean. You know who I mean. as they festoon the stage with their parade of bad nose jobs and other symptoms of having obviously been abused as a child, poking through their underdeveloped, blank, numbed up, stunted personalities, their frigid mock humanity befuddled and masturbatory lie down, defraud, roll over, public appear, swindle, lie, but they themselves are the result of a chain of exploitations constructed to be another meanness inflicted on everything within reach. Raw profit motive can strip humanity from a person like that, no matter how thick the street is with pepper spray and tear gas. The political spite cannot choke off that we forever own our own lives. My heart and mind are not up for grabs and do not need a gas mask. The public is ours, us, you and me, all of us. You can't tear gas a spirit and violently clearing a street with a police playing soldiers, a self-inflicted wound on oppression's conceit, a kind of liberty suicide, a disaster of bureaucratic self-harm, and ideological disaster never ends. Ideological disaster never ends. Ideological disaster goes on forever. Just ask Little Bush and anyone who lives in Baghdad or New Orleans. Tell the people whose hunger is a political hostage that waits for a box of food in a 5-mile-long traffic line of cars. This humiliation is what they voted for. Tell the sociopathic, propaganda-damaged teenage hooligan with an automatic rifle the American flag is his penis. His penis is the truth. His truth is a triple murder, and what he killed was less human than he is, but a conceited sense of righteousness cannot be flattered into truth. A political disaster never ends. Ask the children of Flint, casualties of a budget decision made by party loyalists to whom anyone under the voting age is disposable. In the pestilential states of America, with its prank politics, gun orgy, tens of millions of misogynistic white women who vote against their own bodies, with its foul-mouthed first lady and violent hate group clubhouse militias, swindleocracy is the program, parasiting emergency infested in 300 million lives, and whole states like Georgia, Florida, Texas, and Arizona are a kind of Auschwitz of stupidity, whose governors are the new simpletons for whom executive decision is like a ritual purchase, a retail purchase whose split second of insanity makes you an unwitting customer of your own death, as though you were the Spanish conquistador Ponce de Leon stumbling through the Everglades searching for the fountain of youth. You thought you were voting for a governor, but you got an undertaker. Why didn't you listen to 5-year-old Jimmy Brown of Flint when he said politicians care about money more than human life? No, you didn't listen. Now it came to pass, the national anthem had its title changed to A Hope in Hell. So inject yourself with bleach. The bull is shitting. In the future, we will try to pretend this was different from the Khmer Rouge, but it was the same human bestiality. The only difference is, instead of ideology, the big inspiration was stupidity, where the pestilence walks on 2 legs in the White House, turning truth into a vulva grabbed by vindictiveness, wearing a bureaucratic smile. How much more worse can it get? How much more low can it go? Those questions asked by a person who does not know where this is going, but is about to hear, then a fit of depraved patriotic irresponsibility, the pest of presidential exposed his own child to a deadly disease. What do you call a government that orders the sacrifice of 50 million American children? An immaterial object, a mortal enemy of its own population.
Unmute yourself and give it up for Paul Skiff.
Wow.
Wow.
Yo.
Skip.
Good morning.
Standing
Right there,
O, standing
right
O,
there.
standing O, standing O.
You were just in the skip first. Let me unmute Paul real quick. We're pressed for time, Paul, but I want to make sure I give you time to let him know where we can find you online.
Paulskiff.com. Thanks. Sorry for hogging up too much time. I had to vent. Thanks again to everybody. I come here every week to be with you. You really, really just are so much sustenance, and it's a privilege and pleasure to share this all with you.
Thank you. That is Paul Skiff. You could go to paulskiff.com, check him out. He is a New Yorican OG, and as I always say, he probably has more ownership to this open mic than I do. That's how much of an OG he is. Next, coming up, we're going to Max C, and I see Max right away, ready to go. How are you, Max?
I'm doing well. Apparently Sam and I have both thought of doing haikus tonight. So here are these. For the love of God, a message for all drivers. Use your damn blinker. This one's title is I Know It Was My Fault, but fuck IKEA. Make me Icarus, fall from grace onto my face, you break underfoot. And then a full poem. You are the lover I just can't quit, a dance of avoidance that always pulls me back in. No matter how bad it is, keeping me unproductive, distracted, I lie to myself saying that it's okay. I can still work with you just one more time, 5 more minutes, but instead of essays to write or tests to take, I wallow in your arms. It's always a false sense of security with you, warmth and comfort and nothing more. We both know that with you I never really get any rest, and I guess you're better than my ex, because at least now I don't wake up with a crick in my neck. But I need to stop getting into bed and falling asleep.
Unmute yourself, give it up for Max C.
Hey, Max.
Amazing.
Hey, Max. Look at that.
I'm loving it. I'm loving the short poems. They're like quick hits, quick jabs, man. Keep everyone off balance. Max, where can we find you online?
Y'all can find me at MaxiBoy_poetry on Instagram, or at MaxiBoy. Replace that I at the end of boy with a 1.
Thank you, Max. Make sure you put that information in the chat as well. Max C, he is a mainstay here at the New York Monday Night as well. Moving on now, we are going to Diane Ward. I saw Diane earlier. Where is Diane? I don't see her now. Is Diane in here? I saw that. Oh, they're pointing. They're pointing. They're saying that she's here. Oh, I see it. Why did it move you to my last page? Zoom updated its programs and whatever. For some reason, it moved you to the last page. Usually when people put their video on, it goes forward. Yep, I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I thought I'd do something a little lighthearted. I stuck with the prompt, mortal enemy, inanimate object. So I thought I'd do something a little lighthearted. It's called On the Wall. It stares at me, the mirror obviously reflecting someone else. Being young at heart is fortunately enough for my spouse. And I'm not a cougar, as mature women of a certain age are called, who seek out younger men. No prowling here. My spouse doesn't put a bag over my face, and my makeup, if any, is so minimal. Love is beauty personified. Besides, he's still easy on my eyes too. Once a dancer, always a dancer. I don't need a mirror to betray what now droops, what is now wider. I sense myself without a mirror. I can self-inspect without a mirror. But there are times I am astonished to see how I have changed, how I see my elders in myself more now, as my heritages and mixings of both is inherited, and my cousin and my child, and the mixings of our mirrors are so beautiful. No vocals to betray. Ben Gay was my friend from sprain and workout, not age. Cold and warm compresses are ageless. Like me, they are effective and still work and are essential. So I wear a 10 instead of a 6 now. I wear glasses for distance, not reading. I can hear, I can feed myself. I can talk to you and read to you too if you need me. I cannot and shouldn't carry heavy bundles, and shoulder bags have been off limits for years. I adapted to this look, and mirrors love me. I'm mirror's mortal enemy because I look good.
Yes, unmute yourself. Give it up for Diane.
Great back.
Thank you, and
I love that ending right there. That ending.
Poetic license. What a way to flip it. I love it. I love it. I always say there's something about Diane. I quickly think like wisdom and youth put together. I love it. I love the way you flipped it. Diane, I already know your answer, but I'm going to set you up anyway. Where can people find you online?
Right here with my New Eurekan poets on Monday night. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. I love it. I love the poem. I love the energy. I love seeing that you on here. Thank you. That is Diane Ward. You can only find here every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So blessed to have this woman be part of our community. I love it. I love it. All right. Next coming up is the apple of my eye, Catherine Badan. Where is Catherine? Here she is. Let me unmute Catherine.
Hi.
Hi, Catherine. How are you this evening?
I'm okay. I was pretty depressed. I watched that special with Pete Souza last night on his 8 years of photography with Obama, and seeing where we were and where we are. Anyway, it was kind of heavy, but I'm good. I'm glad to be here. And gee, I was going to read a piece I just wrote on Trump, but not after Paul. So, so I'm focusing on my mortal combat enemy, which is called addiction. And I don't do either of these anymore, but I used to. This is the first one, the cigarette blues. I can't breathe walking down the streets, smelling your goddamn cigarettes. And I can't breathe sitting in a club when you light up your fucking cancer sticks. Sure, you can go and kill yourself if you want to. I really don't care, but please give me a break and stay the hell out of my way. There's still plenty of delicious fresh air here. This ain't no LA, Hong Kong, or Mexico City. So why do you have to go and screw it all up by acting so pubescently adolescent? People addicted to nicotine ain't going nowhere, man. And every night I hang up my clothes to air out on the line just so I can rid myself of that putrid smell of addicts mainlighting on the inhale. That's the first one. If you're a smoker, I apologize. Not really. I smoked for 30 years. This one I wrote when I lived in Seattle. Drinking in Seattle. It's a favorite pastime. That and heroin. I never tried heroin though. I've been getting stoned on alcohol instead of pot, so do you think I should be concerned? Wanting to slam down my drinks just to feel the slow burn of 80 proof coursing through my veins, elevating me and numbing me, letting me float up and around the pain, and Steve, the bartender, has become my very, very best new friend. Hey, Steve, pour me up a strong one and sock it to my gut. Let me forget all the things that aren't quite working out, like the relationships I haven't got and the bills that aren't quite paid off. The lotto fortune's almost, but not yet won. 2 kamikazes and I'm suitably plastered. 2 kamikazes and I'm walking on air. It's a Saturday night and I'm drinking in Seattle. 2 kamikazes and I'm definitely there. As I'm watching all the trendies walk by the picture window outside of Eileen's, it's starting to closely resemble a film by Fellini. Groups of freaks parading up and down Broadway, trying to look like they're hip and ultra beat. It's not quite knowing how else to occupy themselves on an otherwise sad and lonely Saturday night. 2 kamikazes and I'm suitably plastered. 2 kamikazes and I'm walking on air. It's a Saturday night and I'm drinking in Seattle. Yep, 2 kamikazes and I'm definitely there.
Yes, unmute yourself. Give some love to Catherine.
I remember all those days too. That was good.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Catherine.
Addiction is
Oh,
not
yeah.
good. Anyway, boo to addiction. So you can reach me at Catherine Pajan.
Hold on, Catherine. Hold on. I had to unmute everyone. I need you to unmute yourself.
You can reach me here, catherinebajan.com, and all my links are there. And don't forget to vote, everybody, please. But, you know, we're preaching to the choir. It's how do you get the other people to vote sensibly? I have no idea. Okay.
Thank you, Catherine. That is Catherine Badana, mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Love her energy too. We're so lucky. A lot of people talk about the New Rican Poets Cafe and they love it and they love what we're doing, but we're really so lucky with the community we have. You guys are fantastic. I get hit up a lot about people during the show saying, how can I sign up? Sign-ups happen the Sunday night before, Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. You go to newrican.org, you click on full events calendar, then you would click on the Monday that you're signing up for, which is the very following day. Our open mic list, it doesn't open until the night before. That's when you would sign up. Make sure you get an artist RSVP ticket. Now coming up is Mr. John Grishow. Let me unmute him. I got to see him on Thursday, so that was good. I know he's rocked with us once on a Monday. John, how are you this evening?
Doing good. Hey, hi everybody. I'm not on theme tonight. Sorry, man. But I wanted to tell the story that I watched unfold over a few years between a few friends. And one friend was a girl that I knew for several years. And she married that kind of guy who could get any girl that he wanted and kept doing that. And then the second poem is written from the viewpoint of one of those women. So here's the first one called Sinecure. So she secured the sinecure with thought to what was next, unsure, uncertain, insecure, coupled and muddled, perplexed. If she could make that curtain closed door shut from reality, such postured, porous, placid prose prone deep in dark's torpidity, her savant savior, nemesis nimble, neither not nor both, resented still and yearned for yet in new night's undergrowth. A penny saved is a penny for your thoughts, soft spot check. Just in time waits for no one, and he's not back yet. And the second one is love triangle mediator fails, details at 11. Downcast, doxy on the downstroke, decidedly downbeat, your downfall in this downpour. Poor point of the pound foolish, in all fuss budget and feather bedtime storybook endings don't and given up go between, of distal apart hearts, failed, fail safe. Safe word, world word, blurred, unheard. So, downstream doxy deliberates, delineates, determines on down the line. Discontented, despondent, and empty, now distance and difference define.
Yourself and give it up for Mr. Grislow.
Nicely done. Thank you.
Amazing.
John Grislow, I'm loving it. I think it's the third time that I've heard him. I love the energy he brings and the type of poetry. I love when I hear people develop their own voice. I'm trying to unmute you, John, so that we can speak to you one more time. There we go. John, where can the people find you online?
Just right here so far. You know, this is what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah. The Monday Night Online Open Mic is the only place you can find John Grishow. John, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I love it. I love hearing people have their own voice, especially during our open mics, right? We don't want anyone to sound like everyone else. We want everyone to sound like you. Bring your own uniqueness. Thank you, John. Next up, I have a name I don't recognize, Chris Henry. Now, if Chris Henry is here, hit me up. Or put your video camera on, do some jumping jacks, wave around, let some balloons go, because I do not see a Chris Henry. So Chris Henry, if you are here, make sure you send me a message in the chat so I know who you are, which means we're probably gonna get some people on our open mic. Heather Jacobson, who I don't believe has been here. I think this is Heather's first time. You should be able to unmute yourself. Heather, where are you from?
Madison, Connecticut.
Oh, okay. You're not too far. You're up in Connecticut.
Yep.
Awesome, awesome. So this is your first time on the Monday
This is
night.
my first time. Yep, ever. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm glad to have you on. Welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic. You ready to share your work?
Thanks so much. Yes, I'm glad to be here. Thanks so much for having me. Let me find my poem here. All right, my poem's called Rebel X. You wave your Rebel X, defiant, macho, your skull dripping red, white, and blue. There are no symbols of liberty for all, only a call to those brothers in arms who look like you. Fuck your feelings, your banner waves, maybe because daddy never allowed you any. But it isn't only sissies who have emotions. Anger is a feeling too, the flagpole that connects you to your fool's gold idol. Where's the pride and hatred? Unless it's the closest thing you have to love, your only heirloom from generations above. Or maybe you like how it shines, reflected in the eyes staring back at you, fulfilling your claim that you are the victim here, the one most in need of protection. Don't you know it's all just an ostentatious show? The quill plume of the timid porcupine, the ruffled collar of the frilled lizard, the sulfurous stench of the stink bug. It takes heroism to hoe beneath the surface, dig pain out by its roots, compost it into nourished earth. But I'm afraid the volcanic ash of fiery propaganda has smothered your heart until petrified, now hard as rock, yet oh so fragile.
Unmute yourselves, give us some energy, y'all.
Very nice, Heather.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Notice how they
Very good.
Good first read.
Thank you.
If you want to date someone,
Heather Jacobson. Oh, I just muted people. Someone was talking about if you want to date someone. We missed it. We missed out on that information, man. But we're going to talk about Heather. We're going to get Heather's information. Heather, I think you made some new fans. Where can we find you online?
I have a website at hkjacobson.com, and also I'm on Twitter at hkjacobson, and that's SEN. I made a little sign, as you said, just to show you real fast. So, did you get it?
Awesome. No, put it up one more time.
Okay.
There we go. Awesome. Awesome. Heather, make sure, please, to also put that information in the chat so that the people can, because people, we like to copy and paste. It's much easier. Okay.
Yep. Sounds good. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you, Heather. Don't be a stranger. Make sure you come back.
I won't. I will.
Heather Jacobson representing Connecticut. That's what's up. So I like having some new people on here. Now we're going to someone who's old. And I don't mean he's old in age. I'm just saying he's been around for a while. And that is Ron Mark Thompson. He cannot be old with that hairstyle. I love it. How are you, Ron?
I'm okay. I'm eagerly waiting for you to finally tell us the secret before you cut us off at the end. I'm like, for the last 2 weeks, what the hell is going on? I was watching on YouTube and I'm like, Diane, the Zoom cut off? And then she told me, yeah, Advocate just did that. I'm like, and then I saw you last week again. I'm like, damn it, so I guess third time is the charm, right?
Yeah. No cutting off tonight. Some people were like, what's going on? Like, it was a joke. I was cutting off at the end of the joke. So no more. I'm going to be here with y'all to the end. So, all right, I'm ready to hear you, Ron. Oh, and Ron, thank you about correcting me with the time. You're the only one who noticed it and let me know. I appreciate that, Ron. Go ahead.
You're very welcome. Always looking out. All right, here is my silly poem to the theme. Every day it greets me in the bathroom above the sink, and another one says hello on the closet. The third one wishes me goodbye on the wall next to my apartment door. I consider them my mortal enemies. Neither of them animate, but what I see moving on the inside frightens me. Why am I torturing myself each day? Maybe I should get rid of all of them. But then I realize they are not my true enemies. They just show what they see, a reflection, the image of my face, my arms, my body, the lack of muscles, the lack of beauty, also my pain makes me believe. But every enemy eventually gets topped by a more powerful one, because this year Zoom has taken over. It brought out every emotion I never dared to reveal. But come to think of, neither my mirrors nor my web camera are my enemies. Isn't it me I should watch out for? Stop fighting myself and just embrace what is shown? Because then I can focus on more important enemies, like that big inanimate object with the two doors in my kitchen. Every time I open them, they reveal the many treasures inside. Many not healthy, but inviting. I hear their voices. Eat me, no, eat me, please. Damn you, you enemies. The end.
Unmute yourself, give it up for Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Ron Mark Thompson. Let me unmute him real quick. And that's funny. You and Diane both touched upon mirrors, but on the flip side.
And that was pure coincidence. Like I couldn't, because we talked earlier today, and I told her I was still finishing, and she's like, "You better finish, you better finish." And then I hear her half an hour ago, mirror. I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" But yeah, that was pure coincidence.
Well, I know that you two are good, really good friends. You're her bodyguard. So, Ron, where can we find you online?
So personally, you can find me at Ron Mark Thompson on 3 platforms. My organization, Bronx Art and Fun Up, at BXAFH. I have upcoming arts and crafts workshop and a poetry workshop, all 3 in Zoom, not competing with you, different times, different days. I'll put it in the chat so you can register on Eventbrite, anyone who is interested. Come on over. Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ron. I appreciate it. Ron Mark Thompson, he's involved and has his hand in a lot of different workshops and open mics. If you're looking for more, make sure you give him a follow. And shout out to Little Overdose. I saw him waving his hand. Shout out to Little Overdose. I see you, player, looking good, stealing the spotlight from me every single show. I love it. I love it. All right. Next, we're going to the Withdrawn. What is that? Is that Tiger Print or something? What is that man wearing? What's going on, brother?
Hieroglyphics.
Oh, because I had the small window. That's why now I opened it up. Oh, that shirt actually looks hot.
Yeah.
I was making funny. That looks dope, man. That's what's up.
Thank you.
How are you this evening?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling a little bit better. The past 2 nights I've been sleeping better, but my throat's still kind of messed up, but we getting there.
Awesome. All right. Are you on theme tonight?
I am. I got 3 old pieces and 1 new one.
All right, cool. We're going to get them all done in 4 minutes? They're short ones?
Yeah, it's 2 haikus and then 2 short pieces.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. The first haiku. Put your phone down, ma. My soul needs your attention. Not no Instagram. Haiku 2. Texting with no end. I never get to miss you. Lives in my pocket. And now this piece is called How Many Views Will My Death Get Tonight? That Thursday afternoon, as I crossed the street headed home, the bullet came flying to me. With open arms and a desire to love, a gift not meant for I, and neither for the others, who too happens to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. One through his head, one through her stomach, one in my chest, and the other somewhere out in the public. The shooter ran off as the crowd came close. Came 1, came 4, came 6, they came in, pulling out their iPhone 5, 6, and 7. Some crying, not knowing what to do. Some recording saying, someone call 911. How many views will my guest get tonight? Snapchat, Instagram, World Star, or through showing a friend. I never got to see the ambulance show or see any of my loved ones before heading out. The moment I hit the floor, I should have figured that I would die alone. As the flashes from the phones were the lights I saw before leaving. And then this is the last piece, which is the new shit. Do you know how good sex feels? Do you know how good sex feels without a condom? Do you know how uncomfortable it makes a woman for you to push not using one? I've heard all the excuses. Too big of a dick, the condom hurting, the personal preference of no use, not ever using it, how the sex experience will be better, the desire to not have sex unless it's without one. I don't get the neglect of respect and trying to pin not getting off as her fault via selfish desires. Those men, boys, tend to forget unprotected sex brings potential of a kid. Then leave it on her to seek plan B. Sometimes later even offering the incentive of abortion. Man, y'all not even worried about the fortuity of STDs. What this comes down to is compliance. If she's not with it, she's not with it. Let it be. I'm not gonna sit here and say there's more fish in the sea, but instead, check yourselves. Don't let ego and inconsideration affect that at the end of the day, women still deserve reverence. Thank you.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for the withdrawn.
Withdrawn, yes. Nice. We're on the board.
The withdrawn, aka the wild card. You never know what he's gonna bring, what kind of energy, what he's gonna talk about. The withdrawn. Where can we find you online?
Yeah, go find me at thewithdrawn.com. It's funny because once I said, do you know how sex feels without a condom? I thought people could be like, oh shit, he about to get dirty. He was like, no. I felt it. I was like, I had a feeling with that line, people are gonna be like, oh shit, but no. Be nice today.
No doubt,
Thank
no
you so
doubt.
much. Appreciate you.
Thewithdrawn.com or at The Withdrawn on Instagram and Twitter, right? You back on the gram?
Yes, sir. I posted my first video since being back today too, over the weekend piece. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. That is The Withdrawn. Also, a lot of people, I'm starting to see a lot of haikus. Catherine Sweeney's next. Before I get to Catherine, a lot of people are starting to write haikus. So let me break something down for you. There is the haiku and the senryu. The haiku is about people in nature, and the senryu is about nature and people. So some people are actually doing what's called senryus. Just letting you know a little something about, poetry behind the scenes. I actually looked this up. I had no idea. So a haiku is about you or a person inside of nature. Senryu is about nature inside of you. With that being said, take my teaching artist hat off, put my host cap back on, and we're gonna go to Catherine Sweeney out in the West Coast. Catherine, it is a pleasure to have you tonight. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Are you ready to share?
Yeah, I wrote this like 2 hours ago. So bear with me, everyone. I was like, maybe I should be on theme. And Withdrawn, I was a little bit nervous that it was gonna be too serious. So this is a poem about a dildo. Okay. Dildo, you've made me realize no dick can do what you do. I mean, there was one boyfriend who told me no one would ever fuck me the way he could. And he was right. So not you, but every other misused male body. I'm not even picky anymore. The clit sucking vibrator sitting on the box on my floor, a fancy rabbit vibrator from the early aughts, I had two, or the 2-foot classic that comes in various color choices, suction cup on the bottom, the one you can lick and stick anywhere. I have mom friends who put those on their Peloton seats in the morning and ride. When I was a kid, my parents used to take us to the store on Christopher Street, the ones now that are only downstairs, leather and chains, ball gags, and butt plugs. I cannot imagine what the shopkeepers thought, but it was the 80s. I laid my tiny ass down on the floor, brand new matching outfit, and popped bubbles straight at the enormous dicks hanging from the ceilings. What, I wondered, do those do? Since then, there's been a long line of plastic, glass, and silicone dick that have paraded through my life, delivering the perfect orgasm. How dare you, dildo, ruining flesh for me forever, mortal enemy and best friend. Yesterday, I wrote a poem about a bridge. That's that.
Unmute yourself, give it up for Catherine
Oh,
Sweetie.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that one, huh?
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. Catherine always comes out of left field. I love it. I love it. We're going down one lane, then yo, she's like a leopard, man. You gotta watch out.
It was so serious tonight. It was very serious. That's good. It should be. But I don't know what happened at like 4:30. I was like, let's do a dildo poem.
I love it. I love it. No one else did one, so I love it. Catherine.
Next week I'll read you my poem about a bridge.
Okay, we want to hear that. That this was the setup for the bridge poem.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we find you online, Catherine?
I'll put it in the and that's on Instagram. I'm Kate. Catherine is my serious name.
I'm sorry.
I put it in. No, it's fine. You can call me my serious name. It's good.
Okay. All right, I call you Kate, whatever you want. You let me know.
No, it's fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Catherine, AKA Kate. Catherine Sweetie. I love it, man. Every now and then she's just got like one of those lines. It's like a leopard. Like, where'd that come from? Jumping out at you. All right. So we have gone through all of our guaranteed lists. Now we're going to get to the waiting list. I want to shout out Overdose. I see Overdose in the building. I shout out to his kid. I got to give him a shout out. I know he's here. Luciana is checking in again. Jane Spoken Word is here. Haven't seen Jane in a while. How are you, Jane? Who else? Lynn Lane is here. Learned something new about him today. So I see Net Vega here. I had a funny story about Net Vega on Thursday. You should have checked it out on Thursday if y'all were here. So I know you're here, Generalissimo, but you're on the waiting list, so I may call you. So that's why I didn't shout you out. I'm shouting out people who I don't have on the list. And I don't think Assam is on the waiting list. No, but Assam is here. Shout out to Assam. So I know Gigi's here, but you're on the waiting list, Gigi. We may get to you. So with that being said, all right, let's get to it. Angel, and I'm going to say your last name wrong, I'm sure. Masuko is Angel here. I was speaking with Angel in the chat, but is Angel here? Did Angel leave? Angel, are you here? No, Angel, if you are here and I'm missing you, send me a message so that I can get back to you, because we were talking in the DMs before, but I don't see you here now. Angel, nope, going once, going twice, nope. Hit me up, Angel, if you hear this. Okay, Generalissimo, see, on the waiting list. I know it's gonna get you, that's why I didn't shout you out, because we're gonna talk to you now. Generalissimo, how are you this evening, sir?
Well, I'm doing just fine because I finally made it off this list because I forgot to set the alarm on my phone yesterday, and that's what I've been doing to get early on the list, because now 20 minutes in, you can't get the 25th spot. So I'm going to start with not a haiku or a serenyu, but a Franco-ku.
Okay, good.
Question, Mr. Skiff. How do I apply to be a Skiff verse intern? Okay, I'm going to do a piece you might have heard before. It's called, oh God, is the print small on my computer screen right now. There we go. Why we should be thankful for the existence of Hollywood squares. The reason I prefer gracias to thank you is not because I am a Sephardic Jew whose family escaped Spain to the Isle of Rhodes in Turkey during the Spanish Inquisition. It is not because my grandmother spoke Ladino, a dead form of Spanish from the 1400s kept alive by Sephardic Jews for centuries. It is because thank you has that hard K that can take a gracious phrase and a sarcastic and mean direction. Thank you sounds like it was coined by the late Paul Lynde during an argument with Charles Nelson Riley over whose turn it was to occupy the center square. Gracias sounds like it is made of silk chiffon. Gracias dances across the tongue like a first dance waltz, expertly executed by a bride and groom who took 2 months of ballroom classes from Russian instructors and now glide across a dance floor like Fred and Ginger. When I say gracias, I hear the word grace. I speak a language I know few words of, yet is so universal in its grace and elegance, it also gave us de nada. You are welcome. Gracias, everyone. And gracias to you, advocate of Wordz, for giving us this place of community, this place where you treat everyone with respect and like family.
Thank you, Generalissimo. Everyone unmute yourselves. Give it up for Generalissimo.
Love it. Love it. Aw.
Woo! Generalissimo, always bringing it, man. And then at the end, he had to be like, oh, thank you. And gracias to you. Oh, gracias to you, Generalissimo. Unmute yourself. Let us know where the people can find you online.
Okay, that would be Brian Ira Franco on Facebook and GNRLSMO on Instagram.
Make sure you put it in the chat as well, sir, please.
I shall.
Thank you.
Let's get to the next few people. Yay.
That was Generalissimo. Next up is Rich Daddy to be Glennon, and this is probably going to be his last open mic with us for a while because this week it's official. He's going to be a daddy. How are you, Rich?
I'm doing okay right now. Actually, 30 seconds from now, I might be an anxious mess, but I'm good right now. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm excited for you to become a daddy. But I'm trying to savor this moment because I know this is gonna be the last time we hear from you for a while.
I know. All right, well, I'll just dive right in so we can get to more people.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one I got is a haiku. I had butterflies before arriving to lunch. I'm not that hungry. All right. This next one is called Photograph. All right, Photograph. Sliced from a loaf of time, my jean shorts thrive in the glossy waters of a preserved shingle. They are eternally in style and billow like a jellyfish across the confines of this square pond, ignited by a sun's worth of flash. And the last piece I got, this is called Daddy to Be, and I dedicate this to Phil because Phil, well, I guess you'll see. All right, so it's called Daddy to Be for Phil. He suggested I write a poem called Daddy to Be, since I'm going to be a father very soon, which is a godsend, because thinking up titles is like trying to make out rain without the aid of puddles. But I was gifted a title and can now plop it atop any poem I wish, even if it has little to do with impending fatherhood, because you, the reader, are a lover, or at least a liker of poetry, and will make sense of it somehow, even if you have to squint at the cascading text like so many needles of water. All right, thank you.
Rich.
Go, my man. Rich, do your
Very
thing,
nice.
bro.
Amazing, Rich. Congratulations on being a dad, man. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations.
That was amazing. Rich Daddy to be Glennon. Let me unmute him real quick. Rich, where can the people find you online?
Online, Rich Glenn on Instagram and Tumblr.
Thank you, Rich. Rich, it's been such a pleasure having you be part of this community. I know this is not goodbye forever, but I also know that you're going to be busy as hell for a while. So, brother, thank you. If you ever get a moment to pop by, you know you're always welcome, and we're going to be looking forward to hearing about you being a father. All right, brother?
Thank you so much. You're such a kind man. Thank you.
Thank you. That. Rich, and for the last time I get to say it because he's going to be a daddy, Rich, Daddy to be Glennon. Love it. I love it, man. So I am sad to see him go for a while, but I know he's going to be a wonderful father. It's going to change him. And I am excited to hear about the poems he has as being a daddy, like changing diapers. I don't care how much you love your kid. Changing diapers sucks. All right. And if you enjoy changing your kid's diaper, there's something wrong with you. You can love your kid all you want, but that's horrible. I hated doing that. All right. Christian Elijah is next. And Christian has been on here. I don't know if he was on Monday or on Thursday, but I do know
I was here last Monday.
Monday, got you, because I hosted on Thursday as well. But I know this is your second time. Christian, how are you this evening?
I'm blessed, man. I'm so resilient, but I am aggressively exhausted. So I'm good. I'm good either way, man. Can you hear me clear?
I hear you clear. I aggressively hear you clear. All right. Yeah, man, get into it.
Okay. So my poem is called Inadequate Object. In a humble abode on a normal day, wifey whipping up that good grub. Children go outside to play. The dogs are in a rumble. Little blood, nothing fatal, till the wobbly vase falls off the table. Breath shortens, tunnel vision, now off track. Anxiety is in pilot mode. Sorry, my screen just flipped out. Wow. Anxiety is in pilot mode as memories fly back. Swollen lips from your parents, all you did was ask a question, yet their gavel had your body travel to the gravel with an objection. Or torn and tattered, already born battered, addicted to crack since the sack. Mama didn't think crack was so whack. Or bullied at school for dirty clothes, 30 holes between the pants, shoes, and shirt. Or hard-working student keeps failing all the classes, loser because you need a tutor. Perfectionism can also be abusive. Or graduated at the top of your class, A+, degrees, family, and a huge heart wasn't enough, but yet you still never heard the words, I love you. Or orange shoes, blue jeans, green shirt, red hat, blue uniform, white chalk, skin black, seems only the tears are clear. Or black and blue eye baggages, drug lord packages, baby back that ass up, no means yes today. Still sitting on the stoop, daddy comes to pick you up, but that was the day before yesterday. We're adults now, but there's a whole school full of children, still stuck in the same room in the same building. Most vulnerable is in the locker room. State your naked truths. Blood, bruises, and skin seared. Different lockers, but all using the same mirror. Forget about ignorance. Inanimate is bliss. Still on your high school crush for an advocate's kiss. Your past never made you, just made you push through. Take a deep breath, baby. You needed rest, baby. Forgive yourself, for you did not abuse you. If it wasn't worth it, God wouldn't choose you. Go back home to the moment, be the vase. Find your peace within the pieces. Take another deep breath and release it. From the suburbs to the streets, to the mansions, to the projects, you are enough and you were never an inadequate object. That's it.
Ooh, unmute yourself. Give it up for Christian Elijah.
Very nice, Christian.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Nice. Getting to read.
Thank you. Really like that ending, man. I like how he flipped the topic too. Christian, unmute yourself and let the people know where we can find you online.
All right, you can find me at 11 the Phoenix Project 11.com. I know it's weird, but I'll put it in the chat so everybody can see it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Christian. Christian Elijah on the waiting list. Just so y'all know, we are deep into the waiting list, man. I like when we're able to do that because I like getting people on and performing. I know a lot of people look forward to it, and being on the waiting list is tough, especially for this next person, because she hasn't been around for about a month and a half, 2 months, had to take care of some things, and she is back. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Gigi. Gigi, how are you?
I'm doing okay, Jim. What an introduction. You know, I was kind of doubtful, and then I heard the dildo poem, and I got some spunk back in me. If anyone saw me on the camera, I almost fell over laughing. Kate, that was amazing. I'm a sex ed teacher. Lost all my shit. Hilarious. Okay.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, Gigi, I'm glad that you're back. I'm glad you're giving energy. I know you were back last week, but I'm glad you're back to share a poem now. So are you on topic or are you off topic? Something else?
I'm on topic all the way. All right, so I'm just going to dive right into it. So the first one is called Dining Cutlery That Started a Coup. It was the knife that sliced the flesh so delicately. It was the fork that clinked against my teeth, the spoons that escorted liquid down my throat. It was the scale that told me tales of numbers. It was the mirror that hung in bathrooms. It was the glasses that sat on the tips of noses that allowed people to perceive me. It was my own glasses that made me look into mirrors and see emptiness of soul and the bounty of flesh I could not call home. The enemies had silent voices, judgmental comments that came with every meal. The meals in excess, eating felt like a secret, dripping in shame. It was the clothes that fit too tight but were my favorite color. It was the era of no photos. I did not want to capture moments. It was the coup against my mentality, the idea that plates brought war against my body. It was the idea that the enemy was anything other than me. And the next one is called Bones Fastened from Wood. I can't tell if the enemy that lives in my house, bare bones fastened from wood, is the rocking chair or the bed he slept in that was not his deathbed. The bed that nestled in my living room that I'd assembled upon finding out the diagnosis, the bed that would be more comfortable, the bed he would get better in. The bed that sat in the living room for 3 months after he died, the bed my sister and I slept in shifts in. The bed my mother slept in, the communal peace that we observed his last days. No, my feelings of discretion are not with the hospice bed that came and went so quickly. The only purpose it has with the inevitable end. I wonder if it's the bed that was before his deathbed, or if it's the rocking chair that rocked so rhythmically throughout the years, undisturbed by bad news that still sits there lacking its purpose. It mocks me at night when I hear footsteps and movements from the other room, and its only purpose is a reminder. Thank you.
Give it up for Gigi. Give Gigi some energy,
Hey, we missed you. Welcome back.
Good comeback. Thank you.
We're so happy to.
That last poem, man. I'm unmute Gigi. That last poem, Gigi. I was like, oh, I got that spot. You know, I got the, and then the bed before the deathbed. All of it. Oh, there's so much about it, and I'll hit you up later because I want to get some more people. But there's things I want to talk about. But Gigi, where can the people find you online?
I just ruined my whiteboard because my dumbass wrote with Sharpie. Here we go. It's iron_resilience is the first one. And then the second one is hair_by_JIJI because I am a hairdresser. And that is my favorite form of art. And y'all can follow me on both. And I'm happy to be back. And shout out to Kai, Brackens, and Roz because y'all both messaged me at the same time, like exactly to the minute, and was just like, where have you been? And I was just like, well, I guess I gotta come home. So here I am.
Yes, thank you. I am sorry you ruined your whiteboard, and I'm digging the new cut. I feel like you should be like a superhero. That's like a superhero cut right there.
After I came last week, I was just like, if I perform again, I gotta bring something fresh. So coming in with the mohawk.
I love it. It looks awesome. Thank you, Gigi.
Everyone was so great tonight.
Thank you. That was Gigi. So good to have her back on. She attended like the first 22 shows or something like that. And like I said, last month and a half, 2 months, she had to take a break. So happy to have her back. So moving forward, look at that. Rich Glennon is leaving us for a time being. Gigi comes back. That's how it is, man. That's how it is. Happy to have Gigi back. Aricio Rivera. I just butchered that name. I know. But he's going to forgive me because he was on the waiting list and I'm sure he didn't expect to go. But we got to him. Arisael, did I say it right?
Yes, Arisael, yeah, tis I.
There you go. Mr. Rivera, how are you this evening?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. So excited. I got off the waiting list. I've been there like on the waiting list like the last 2 weeks. So I've been like, come on, I gotta get on this at 9 p.m. I gotta set up an alarm. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, we got you tonight. So go ahead, brother. Get into it.
For sure. Yeah. So maybe some more people can go. Yeah, this is about several inanimate objects that are my own mortal enemies. It's called Hunger Pangs. All right. My hunger pangs kick. My stomach is a monster yelling at me, buddy, I is hungry. How about some meats? I'm like, hold up a minute, yo. I got to check my calories because I can't keep on getting chubby. I got ladies to please. I need some food. I need to eat quick because this guy eating his burger on the subway is making me sick. Subway, I better eat fresh. Got my mind and my money waiting on my paycheck for my hunger to subside and I can ask for anything because oh, guess what today is? Friday, and I'm excitable. You ordered a salad? Shoot, I'm calling an audible. I want to party like it's 1776. Eat some Dunkin' Donuts and top it off with some Twix. I order my food like I'm traveling cross country because my mama always said, mijo, when it's food, it ain't wasting money. It's an investment in your tummy and your health, you little dummy. Can I get no tomatoes on that burger, please? Open up, want to eat it, and to my surprise, when did no tomatoes become extra pickles on the side? No more snacking. I got to let it go because my debit card got too many transactions on Applebee's, bro. And now I sit with a bag of chips, drinking Nesquik, 2 apple pies for $1 and some cheese sticks, remembering the days when my metabolism was on my side. Oh, yeah, sorry, bro. Here's my coupon. Can you make that supersize? That's it.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Aracio,
I felt that one too hard.
Good.
Oh, I'm hungry right now.
Remember the days when what was it? I don't want to butcher that last line. I remember days when my metabolism was
on my side. Yeah.
Oh, yes. I know it. Aracio, where can we find you online, sir? Please.
Yeah, please. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Araciel_RIV. I'll put it in the chat as well. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Hit me up on Instagram, man. It's good times.
Thank you, Araciel. Let me mute him. Make sure that you go give him a follow. So happy I was able to get to him, man. Stephen McKnight, are you here? I don't see Stephen McKnight, which is a shame because I know usually we don't get to our open mic list, and he was like 9th on the list, and we're going down to our last person on the open mic list, and that is Christopher Nilo, or is it Nilo? He's gonna let me know. And I tried to unmute you. Christopher, is it Nilo or Nilo?
It's Nilo.
Christopher, and if I'm not mistaken, like 3 months ago, you were on here before? Is this your second time?
Yes, this is my second time.
And I think your first time you were in somebody's kitchen or your kitchen, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
was in my buddy's kitchen in Vegas. It was a little rough, but it got done.
Awesome. Well, welcome back, man. You ready to get into it? You ending our night.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for having me. I have a couple short pieces. First and foremost, to everyone who's never heard me speak before, I can't take full credit for anything that comes forth from my pen, such as this, because I do speak on behalf of us, through me, to us, to me, on behalf of the creator, through me, to us, to me. So doubly thank all of you and everyone else that's been receptive thus far, because we're all in this together. And the only way through this is together. So this is called intermission. So this is new. So honestly, just as in the beginning of my earliest memory, which is as I am now, which is a seed of light, continuing to seek truth, able to weed out each bad breed bred to feed the heartbeat of the weak and meek. Now, week after week, I watch and see fear and greed thread the bead on the string, while the roots of the cosmic tree I thought would be elementary, as we continue to climb this element tree, struggling to tread the waters of the deep sacred sea. Now I'm drowning in a daydream that sleeps in a slipstream, and I'm teaching the angels to breathe in the beauty of hope's beam. balancing upon the veil's frail seam, while humanity seems to fail to see past their own personal peak that reeks, just like the words a false prophet speaks, compared to the deafening silence that keeps you on the edge of your seat, fiending for a treat. And this is called Safe to Say. Today is the day to change my ways and drown in the waves where my soul wades and waits for my sinful traits to lay in the waste of a bed I made and destructively played. As praise led to a grave beneath the haze, herein lies a maze leading to a place far away from disgrace, seen upon my heart's face. And I won't erase a single trace of these gifts of grace unwrapped in lace and the glazed phrase that still resonate. Teaching to raise frames with names, escaping parades of flames, spitting snakes, hissing shame, causing the shakes to set the stakes and pray for those who prey on those completely afraid. I'm able to say it's never too late to alter your fate and watch the rage disengage from the pain, pretending to paint something great, because under the eye of hate, I willingly participate and learn to confiscate thoughts to differentiate when to cremate the game, causing me to hyperventilate as reality begins to evaporate at a rate that'll plague knaves with mistakes that trace energy irate enough to inflate emotions bought with a rebate. And I realized before it was too late and became the bait on the train, drawing out the insane that wax and wane in this race to the drain, leading the fake and lame to the domain of mange and unspoken shades ablaze in the grains of space, where forgiven chains are claims that arrange a meeting so strange, a blending of rays at the bay of stains, halting the chase, beginning trades on souls needing to be saved from yesterday.
Yourselves and give it up for Christopher Nilo.
Christopher, thank you.
Christopher.
Yes. Yes, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes.
Loving that energy, loving that energy. Christopher, make sure you unmute yourself one time. Let the people know where we can find you online.
I have now established a technological distraction, so I can be found on Instagram at, I don't know, can you see this? I don't know. It's Grabbing Grace. GRABBINGRACE. Oh, see if I can do this. Maybe a little higher.
There you go. Grabbing Grace.
Yep.
Got
all
it.
one word.
On Instagram?
Yes, on Instagram, and still Christopher Harold Nilo on Facebook. Yeah. Other than that, I think I'll be attending more often. So thank you for having me. Everyone has done a great job. I appreciate everyone. It was amazing. Thank you all. Blessings.
Thank you, Christopher Nilo. We've gotten everyone on our guaranteed list and our waiting list. Thank you for sticking around. Remember, next week, the theme is spooky, all right? Halloween theme. I'm really excited about it. So without further ado, good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you've written. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be as imaginative as tonight's poems. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting us into your homes. This has been the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the New Rican Poets Cafe. I have been your host for the evening, advocate of words, Rich Daddy to be Glennon. We miss you already. We see you soon. Gigi, welcome back. Everyone, you have just spent 2.5 hours on the computer. Get off it. Go talk with people you love. Go read a book. Go draw. Go look outside. Anything but the computer now. Okay? All right. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.